So I've had a lot of people ask me, recruits, other businesses, clients, like how actually are you using AI to help reduce administrative overhead for your engineers, and what are you doing internally? And so I have spent some time trying to come up with a good visual that really explains the what I call relational database. And so in my simpleton mind, I think that there's five key components to how any engineering firm's operating. You've essentially got your operations. That's going to be the heart of the business, the engineers, the architects, the EITs, the draftsmen, all those guys, and they're there delivering the projects, and that's obviously the heart and soul. But then you've got the other four different supporting groups within your business. You've got your accounting department, which is going to be invoices, getting payments. You've got your HR department, which handles a lot of payroll. That's where people's timesheets are saved. We interview staff. Sales. Sales are where we're essentially we're creating proposals, flipping those over into signed deals, and then obviously the marketing team, which supports those proposals, and they also create outbound content to attract different clients and stuff. And so the way I think about these things and the way you're structuring your data, a lot of companies have an intranet or they've got internal apps and stuff that are all linked together. And these things are related, and the question is how you get to be related. And so I created this visual because the AI kind of works on it like a network, a road network, and it moves along it essentially to find the data if you've got it structured correctly. So a simple explanation here is you're doing invoicing, and you've got you're trying to figure out what descriptions I should put on there. Well, there's a couple pieces of information that could show you. There could be essentially a call and meeting and emails with those clients for those projects. You've got timesheets as well for those projects, and there's data in all of that. That if you map it correctly and map the project number, so you're creating an invoice for a certain project, and it's kind of you're creating a project invoice, and it's saying, okay, well, I'm working on this project. What can I do? I can send it. The calls and meetings and emails. I can send it the timesheet descriptions, and boom, you'll be shocked at what it remembers from the first few days of the month that you weren't even writing notes on to justify what you're billing those clients. And also, fun fact, you can set up essentially automations that go bam, bam, bam every month, that it goes, it's time to create an invoice. What are our active projects? Okay, project number 35. What were the emails, Teams messages, meetings, timesheets, what are those? They'll say, AI goes and reads it and it summarizes it. You guys have all experienced this. When you essentially say, hey, here's a sample report, here's some verbal me talking to you, can you go ahead and summarize my thoughts in the same language, but in that style of report? It's really good at that. It's really good at language. All it did was that admin work of just kind of summarizing a lot of the stuff you already said and regurgitating it back in the correct format. It crushes. I'm going to give you another case study, and then I'll stop my rant here. But essentially, think of you're making different, for example, like this YouTube or LinkedIn content. What you want to do is say, well, what kind of projects maybe is this piece of content going to be for? And you go and look at your projects here, and you say, oh, okay, well, I want to make a project about lift stations. So what all lift station projects are tagged up with the what all projects are tagged up to lift station? AI is going to go look at that, and then it's going to pull some of those calls, meetings, transcripts, and information, and it's going to pull that all down, and now it can make a hyper customized piece of content where we want to talk about the challenges the team went through and how we overcame it, and how we have a unique perspective now on delivering lift stations. Actually, I lied. I'm going to give you guys one more because that's just how it is. Maybe I just work in threes. So another great example is going to be here for if you're doing a proposal. Okay, what's great? So during the proposal, you likely have a couple pieces of document. You're gonna you're going to set up, you've got meetings, calls, transcripts, all those things. So if you're tracking that in a CRM, even if it's like HubSpot, or I would recommend potentially considering building your own HubSpot CRM internally with Claude Code. There's a lot of open source software out there that you can get off GitHub. So go look up GitHub and look up the different softwares. You can essentially grab these packages, go to Claude Code, install them. I'll be writing about this more, so just keep following me for more stuff like that. But just think, okay, I can put that all together. I've got my sample proposals. Bam, jam it together, give the information, and now it's hyper customizing, writing a proposal in the tone that you were speaking of with the client, and essentially the tone, the languaging, and it meets everything they wanted. And you're putting that on that executive summary, and you're able to hit all the scopes of works they said they wanted on their scoping call. There's lots of other stuff, if you're making content and you're trying to get transcripts here from your hiring interviews, what do the candidates care about? What are the first 3 questions they're asking every single time? I can likely guarantee you right now, clients are asking you, keep saying clients, candidates are asking you about AI. Like, what kind of AI are you using in your business? And what you should do, if on that call you go, well, you see how this is recorded here? We take this and craft messaging to make sure that we stand out in the marketplace with other candidates. We essentially use that as a way of surveying you guys without asking for you to complete a survey. So those are just some of the simple use cases. Having a good structured set of data that you're pushing around constantly. Having AI do descriptions, writing, move stuff, build custom apps for you. Huge use case. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble about this. Hopefully this visual was helpful. You kind of see some stuff we made here. So, cool. Thanks.